What's up, Teen Talk fam? It's your host, So Shy, here with
Your boy DJ Daddy in the building.
Young KJ in the building.
Your boy Deshaun B.
And it's Donnie in the building.
Thank you all for tuning into our show. We have a lot of interesting topics lined up today. Before we get started, let's hear some of Miss Nikki's success stories for this week. Deshaun?
One of my successes this week, I was able to complete one of my tasks that I've been working on for my job. So I've been having to just really balance how to really manage my time and get a lot of stuff done. We're having such a short schedule. You would be surprised how much you can get done in 4 hours if you really just dedicate yourself and block out all those distractions. Things I didn't think that was possible, I was able to make possible. So that's definitely my success this week.
Ooh, what about you, KJ?
Actually, I just hit 64 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
Congratulations. Yeah. 64. You're going to start somewhere.
Yeah. So the grind is real now.
Yes, sir. How about you, Donald?
Nothing. I woke up. That's a blessing. So yeah.
Yes, it is. So I have a success story. I actually got my driver's license.
Okay.
Whoa.
And I have the news that I am graduating in December instead of May. So that's what's up.
Okay, early graduate, check you out.
Yes, sir. All right, it's time to get the teens talking. At any time during our show, you have a question or a comment, DM us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. Growing up Black, we all experience a different upbringing. Today, we'll be discussing our early childhood experiences. Deshaun, growing up, what was your childhood like?
I would say my childhood was very eventful. I was that kid who I played outside. I got everything I wanted, but anytime I didn't get something, it was really because I was bad. So I can't even say it was just because, they didn't want to give it to me. I was bad. And now that I'm reflecting on how bad I was, I see why I didn't get some of the things.
Right. Okay. Day, if you could describe your childhood in one word, what would it be?
I feel like I had to hustle my whole life. So I could just say hustle. I love hustling. And, so I would say hustle.
Hustling is like the new big thing. Like, it doesn't, when people hear the word hustle, it doesn't necessarily, what they think isn't what's right.
Right.
It's more like
exactly.
hustling, you get a job and you had to take care of your business,
Taking care of your priorities and your responsibilities. That's hustling.
KJ, growing up, were you an outside kid or a homebody?
I think I was a little bit of both. But I really would like going outside. I just never really had a lot of friends like that. So I would stay inside most of the time.
Yeah, that's me too. I think I would say I'm like half and half because when it was too hot outside, I would not go outside for nothing. I would stay in the house and my friends would, like ask me to come outside, but I'd be like, nah, it's too hot. Or I only had like that one best friend, that one friend that makes you do everything. Yeah,
that's in Las Vegas. This Las Vegas, it makes you reconsider a lot of things, especially going outside.
For real, it's like it was harder than what it was when we was kids. What about you, Donald? Growing up, were you an outside or a homebody?
As a kid, definitely as a kid growing up in Carolina, we have, rainy days, but sometimes, we have 88 degrees type of weather with humidity. And, of course I got the scrapes on my knee and everything from, playing outside, playing ball with my homeboy and everything. But I definitely was outside. But then when I moved out here, it was just too hot. I couldn't do it. So I just stayed inside. I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all got that.
And people think because we live here, we automatically get used to it. And that is not the truth. Yeah, I'm not used to it at all. And it's 120 degrees outside. It's too hot.
Yeah, there's no getting used to that.
Man, how about you, Deshaun? Were you a outside kid or a homebody?
I was definitely an outside kid. I was out there playing all the hood games, Ding Dong Ditch, Cops and Robbers. There was this one game I invented my own little car. So I was able to take a shopping cart and I flipped it on top of a scooter. So somebody had to push. I was always the driver because I wasn't about to be pushing. But that's the type of creative stuff that I was doing outside.
Yeah, see, I did the same thing. I thought Now looking back at it, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, what was
but I was gone.
Man, like we used to create so much stuff. I used to think I was a little mechanic with the bikes. Thought I was like a little scooter mechanic. I was just out there. I used to have fun in the winter, but in the summer, it was more like you got to catch me on a good day. I ain't coming outside unless you getting wet. So Day, growing up, what was your childhood like?
I feel like, I mean, my childhood, it was, you know, I grew up with a single parent, you know, a single parent home. So I grew up with my mother. So she, you know, she always took care of us. It was 4 of us. You know, I have two brothers and 1 sister. So It was just, you know, she made sure we had whatever we wanted. But, you know, I always, you know, wanted my own, you know, to look a certain way just growing up. So I would, you know, go out and, you know, either barter or, you know, find like, you know, some kind of side hustle, like selling lemonade or selling candy, you know, just so I could, you know, be able to, you know, look, you know, presentable, you know, as, you know, I would want to present myself. So I, you know, childhood, it was good, you know, for the most part.
All right. That's good though, because, you know, I think every child has at least built a lemonade stand or sold some type of candy to their friends, did something with their life.
You know, you have
yeah. Go ahead, Deshaun.
I was selling the icy cups. Put some Kool-Aid in a little foam cup, freeze it. That's your icy cup for the summer right there.
And I know you 25 cents. That's what they known for, huh?
You already know. But they actually had a candy store in Chicago. See, Vegas don't have no candy store. You can't just go to the neighborhood lady and get you no pickle or nothing. You got to actually go to the gas station out here.
See, I was a candy lady for the longest. I was 6 years old out here selling candy in my house. Doing it.
You was the candy lady.
I remember that. You guys remember when they had candy houses back then? Like where you can go get like an ice cream or, you know, go get, you know, whatever
That's
it was.
Candy lady right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't have that anymore. It's crazy.
Man. KJ, what were some of your favorite childhood games?
Cops and Robbers. That was pretty much it. Cops and Robbers.
Isn't that like a person game? It's not like a word game or nothing.
I mean,
like what type of game is that?
How you look at it.
What, Shauna? You don't know what Cops and Robbers is?
I don't know what Cops.
That was a team. That was a team sport. It was 3 people. I always wanted to be the robber. I wasn't trying to. Go out there.
It wasn't gonna catch us.
All I know is about bad cop and good cop. That's all I know. Bad cop, good cop. Is it the same?
No.
That's different.
I ain't lived my childhood the way I needed to live then. How about you, Deshaun? What kind of games did you play?
I definitely did the Cops and Robbers, but I also used to do the freeze tag. And I used to like going to the pool. I feel like the pool games was the best. We used to play Marco Polo, and they used to play the game with colors. With the person have to get out the pool, they turn around, and you name a color, and you got to swim to the other side. That used to be my game. I was an underwater swimmer.
What about Shark?
I ain't like that. They cheat.
How about you, Donald? What type of outside games did you play?
As a kid, I remember Foursquare. So, you know.
Oh, okay.
And the tab, I used to do the looks, the no looks and everything. You know, swerve it a little bit.
He cheat. Can't play with him.
And I was a cheater of my friend group too. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a cheater because I was the slowest. I could not run. Let's just put that out there. And if I wasn't having fun, it wasn't happening. I was like a little bully. If it wasn't fun, I was not happening. I was going inside. That's it.
Miss KK talking about something. We used to play wall ball, tether ball, anything.
You got tether ball, tether ball, dodge ball.
Man, I missed. But tether ball was the game.
That was elementary school days.
Donald, growing up, what did a typical Saturday morning look like for you?
Oh, typical Saturday morning. Oh, it's 7 a.m. Bobby Womack is playing in the background. The vacuum going, so that means you got to get up and it's time to clean. So Saturday morning, everybody get up, time to clean the whole house. Every Saturday, we was not playing.
Saturday?
Every Saturday. We got to keep it nice and neat. We got to be organized and everything. You know, the
My mama, she did not play. I mean, so Saturday, you know, she'd get in that mood with the gospel music or the SWV, and then we got to wake up, clean the whole house and the outside. She had no games, but every week, I think I might just run away. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you know it's time to clean when you wake up and hear that old R&B music playing and hear the vacuum cleaner going.
And it's blasted.
Like,
And you don't get to eat before. They make you clean then eat.
Oh, you
Hours
gotta be spotless.
Dede, how about you? What did your Saturday morning look like?
Saturday mornings, is that referring to growing up? Saturday
Yes,
mornings? I was just, I was always an outside person. So I just, I was never like these kids, nowadays, who want to just sit in the house and play Fortnite. I was like you guys, I wanted to, go out and, get in a fight or, something, like, don't.
You just wanted to be bad.
No, I was actually, I was a decent kid, but, I just like to have fun and be a boy, that's what, a lot of these kids nowadays don't understand,
Man,
how fun it is to go outside and just experience everything, just
experience life. And growing up, y'all probably don't believe it, but I was a tomboy low key. Like, I like to go out there, hang with all the boys. I like to throw hands like a boy. I was like really, I was a tomboy. And I'm telling my sister and my cousins, it's 2 boys and 1 girl. I'm like, y'all just staying inside and y'all go outside to the trampoline. That's it. Y'all don't go play with no bugs. Like, I'm scared of bugs. I don't run the neighborhood. Man,
I know. Me and my friends,
my mama don't even tell them to come home. The street lights come on, and that was come home. The street lights come on. If you in this house, if you ain't in this house before the street lights come on, you ain't going outside tomorrow. That was
the worst thing. You never wanted to be grounded. That was the worst thing ever. To be grounded. I'm like, oh my god, I can't go outside tomorrow. Like, it was stressful.
Man.
Days.
What about you, KJ? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. I was just saying.
What about you, KJ? What did your Saturday morning look like for you?
7:30. I remember it like it's yesterday. I still live with my parents. I mean, like, but 7:30. Wake up, play 2K for a good 3 hours. Don't eat, then go outside and just chill.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That sounds like a nice little privilege life. They make you clean?
No, I mean, we had to clean on Sunday though, because that's when
see that.
grandma would be
home. This is a good question. Deshaun, at what age do you think kids should start cleaning?
See, I started cleaning and cooking at the age of 9. I just wanted to be very self-sufficient. I hated when my parents picked out my clothes because I didn't want to wear that ugly stuff. I wanted to pick out my own stuff. I wanted to iron. I wanted to be grown. So for me, I started at 9, but I definitely feel like if you at the age of 13, you definitely need to be cleaning. Because at that point, you know what you're doing. You know what type of messes you're making. I just hate the kids that eat and leave their plate at the table. I feel like that's just so disrespectful.
Okay, so hear me out, right? At the age of 6, I was cooking, right? I was cooking on the stove. My grandma, she was in there to teach me how to make eggs and make my own food, right? But I never had to do the dishes, right? Okay, now continuing. I was the age of 14 when I had to start cleaning my room and start cleaning bathrooms for real. Like, I was still, wash my little plate or wash the dishes or whatever, but it wasn't a chore. I didn't get chores to the age of 14. And even then, I was still kind of slacking. But, yeah, that's just me. How about you?
I feel like if you're old enough to, make a mess, you should be able to clean it. Like the little kids, when they make messes, you should, clean up yourself.
For real.
That's my personal opinion.
And you know what? Now that I have a little sister and she's 8, I'm like, girl, if you don't go downstairs and make you some food, if you don't wash your dish, like, I'm not playing. I'm not your maid. And now I'm feeling how my mama be feeling with me. I'm like, girl,
Yeah, yes.
I should be making your own noodles, your own cereal. None of that. We ain't playing none of that around here. At Donald, what age did you start doing chores around the house?
Basically, I started at 7 because when I was like 7, my mom was pregnant with my little brother, so I had to prepare for the baby and got to make sure the house is straight, make sure everything is clean, so the baby won't get sick. So I started at an early age. I didn't really start cooking until honestly, like 15, 16. But I was always watching my mom and my sister cooking in the kitchen, and you know, the food be smelling so good.
If it don't smell good, it's nasty.
For real. And that's so dope. You know what? I mean, I was kind of like that. I was 10 when my mom had my sister. So it was mild. I still cleaned. I still prepared and everything. KJ, how about you?
See, unlike y'all, I was the baby in the house. You feel me? So I didn't really have to start cleaning until like 11 years old. I started cooking. I actually won a cooking competition in Atlanta. That's when I truly started cooking. I was
Let me find out.
what
you cook?
kitchen, you feel me?
I like to cook to eat.
You said what?
I like to cook and I like to eat.
Man, simple. But yeah, I didn't really start cleaning until like 11, 12 years old.
Okay, that's like a good acceptable age, you know. All right, thank you all for tuning into this Teen Talk discussion. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881, and also check us out at teentalkvegas.com. If you enjoyed this discussion, continue listening for more interesting topics up next.